So if you're familiar with SQL, joining data is actually very common. There's inner joins and outer joins and left joins and right joins, where basically what it is you take data from two different tables and you either take the ones which are the same across them or ones which are different or some combination thereof. You can kind of think of it as a Venn diagram. Each table and the data that you pull from it is going to be a separate circle, and where they intersect, then that determines whether or not it's a inner join or an outer join or a left or a right join or something like that. You can do something similar in C# with LINQ. So let's go ahead and create two lists of numbers. And nums1 or nums1 is equal to, this will be a new list, and we'll just go ahead and put in some numbers, 42, 15, 23, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 1, for instance. And we'll create another list. And this will have 823, 1213, and I'll put some common numbers here. So 42, 12, which is not common, 23, which is common, and 9, which is not. So we can go ahead and say var inner join query from number in nums1 join number 2 in nums2 on number equals number 2. Select number. So this is, again, it's going to return an IEnumerable. It is grabbing a number from nums1. It is grabbing a number from nums2. And every number in nums1, if number, the number from nums1 is equal to a number in nums2, select that number. So we can go ahead and print this out for each var I in inner join query, console.writeLine I. And so now this will print out just the numbers which are shared across the two lists. So 42 and 23 are in there. If we happen to add another shared number and say this list, 1, 2, 3, for instance, the lists do not need to be the same length. They don't need to contain the same number of elements of any sort. In fact, this has 7, this has 6, and if we run this, then we will get out the 3 elements which are common between these two lists. And so this is known as an inner join. There's also an outer join, which is number not equals number 2. But this is just kind of demonstrating that. This right here, you could write in a one line. So let me go ahead and comment this out. You can say var inner join query is equal to nums1 dot, and there is this join. There's also a group join, but we're going to talk about join. So this join takes in, and this may look a little complicated, but it's really quite straightforward. The first thing that you need is this IEnumerable outer, so you need the inner, so this is going to be the outer. You need the inner, and then you need the outer key selector, the inner key selector, and the result selector. So the inner is going to be nums2, what you're going to be joining with. The outer key selector, since nums1 is outer, it'll be num1, num1, and then the inner key selector, and notice that this is a lambda expression, num2, num2, so it'll be known as num1 and num2. And now this is going to be your result selector. So num1, num2, num1. So this is saying, okay, so the number from nums1, the number from nums2, if they are equal, then we're going to go ahead and grab it. So notice that we get the exact same list printed out there. So these are two different ways. This is a little bit easier to understand. This is a lot less typing. And once you understand what all of these parameters in there are doing, it's really not that hard. But those are two different ways that you can do a join. And there are several different joins that you can do. This is just an example of one of the inner joins.